Oh sure, 5 more moves for 99 cents. No thank you. Oh, well, hey everyone, welcome to Waffle Ladder. Sorry about that. Today we are tackling one of those topics that's guaranteed to make your blood boil. Why does it seem like there are so many extra government workers? You know, the ones whose job descriptions seem to indicate that all they might do is cruise the internet while mastering the art of carrying around a folder and doing absolutely nothing. But hey, no judgment. It's a public service, right? We're breaking down the top 10 reasons why government jobs might have a bit more downtime than necessary. Are you ready? Well, let's climb the ladder. Number 10, bureaucratic inefficiencies. The beauty of bureaucracy. You know, where every decision has to be approved by 3 people, then sent up to a committee, then reviewed by a board, then analyzed by a department, and finally, if you're lucky, someone might actually give you a decision, produced on a dot matrix printer. Because most of the time, the government's technology is, shall we say, antiquated. Of course, a request could get lost in the system, which is a very real possibility. This glorious inefficiency, of course, necessitates a vast army of employees just to keep the whole thing chugging along. Imagine 20 people all trying to change the same light bulb, and you're getting close. Instead of streamlining, we've created a traffic jam of paperwork that even the most determined worker can't navigate in an efficient manner. Number 9, over-complex regulations. Ever tried deciphering a dusty treasure map written in ancient Greek? No? That's what it's like dealing with the government regulations. Every page is a new puzzle to solve. These rules are so complicated, you'd think they were designed to discourage progress. You know, it's like running a marathon, blindfolded, carrying 2 bags of sand.
Dad,
yeah?
before I drop these off, he says he needs them back by tomorrow.
All these? I gotta, wait, it says sign here? What? All right, I'll get to that. Whew. So, getting back to the point here, the more complex and extensive the regulations, the larger number of employees that are needed to interpret and implement and enforce. There are over 90,000 pages in the Federal Register, the repository for all these endless regulations. Imagine how many lawyers the government needs to wade through that. And with hundreds of new pages being added each year, it's not going to change anytime soon. You know, if we simplified these rules, we might actually get some work done. But hey, who needs progress when that paycheck clears every 2 weeks? Number 8, lack of incentive to innovate. Want to know what's a great motivator? Reward, recognition, a raise, and the greatest incentive of all, profit. So yeah, all that doesn't apply in the government, as they are more akin to a nonprofit, but without voluntary contributions. Add in nearly automatic promotions and raises, which are usually tied to no more than served time and adequate performance, and you're left with a large number of employees just riding the wave. What do they care if the form is still on carbon paper? Add in very generous vacation and sick leave allotments, and that is the perfect recipe for, I'll do it tomorrow. Number 7, political interference. Politics plays a large role in how many less than useful government employees there are. This comes from 2 sources. 1, pet projects that are funded by bill amendments slipped in at the last second, which can lead to large expenditures with no real need. Second, and more importantly, the budget cycle itself, which comes from Congress and rewards spending, the exact opposite of the private sector. Saving money is just not a goal. If you're a program manager and don't spend all your money, you get less next year. This encourages overspending to justify next year's budget. Oh, hold on a second. I guess I'm doing good, right? No, maybe not. Imagine running a normal business like that. It would be the fastest bankruptcy in history. Number 6, redundancy. The symphony of duplication of effort. In the grand orchestra of federal agencies, you'll find not 1, not 2, but at least 3 departments dedicated to the same area. We have the FBI, the DEA, and the ATF. Overlap much? This is due to the mammoth size of government, which totals, even with the recent cuts, more than 2 million positions. And that doesn't count the post office or the military. Did you know there are currently over 400 agencies within the government? 400? That is insane. Why cut back when you can just keep hiring people until the office looks like Bangladesh? Number 5, lack of accountability. In the private sector, if you don't perform, you get a little chat with your boss and potentially fired. In the government, if you don't perform, you get a chat with your boss, and they might even put you on review called a performance improvement plan. But guess what? The probationary employee usually improves and is allowed to keep their job. Often these underperformers are shuffled to some other department, and now that slacker is their problem. One could call it musical chairs for the inept. When there's no real accountability, it's easy to take long, meaningful breaks or naps out in your car, or better yet, telework. Number 4, inefficient use of resources. Nothing screams taxpayer money well spent like unused office space and unnecessary supplies. You want a new printer? Sure, why not get 50? We're definitely going to use them. Why save when it's not your money? And come September, end of the fiscal year for the government, all the stops are pulled as people scramble to spend all their budget. Because remember, if you don't spend it, then you didn't need it and you won't get it next year. As new government programs are created or existing ones expand, additional staff is typically hired. New appointed leaders of these new programs typically have no interest in guidance from other organizations because they know better. So they just start from scratch, wasting time and effort developing processes and buying equipment that already exists. Imagine a new car rental company that sets things up without even looking at how Hertz or Avis run their operations. I mean, who wouldn't want to start their own fiefdom where everything you do can be claimed to be revolutionary so you can get a raise next year? Number 3, misalignment of goals. What you'll find in the government is constantly changing goals which don't align with anything. Well, except getting the lead of their next promotion. Or worse yet, a private sector gig, maybe at Amazon, Google. Most leaders in government are not even around for 2 years until the next one comes in with their goals or ideas. This revolving door creates a churn that wears down the lower level employees and rarely leads to anything more than a change in department name. These constantly moving goalposts make it difficult to make progress. You'll get it next year. And the boss doesn't care because he got the reorganization on his resume and a fat new job in the private sector. Number 2, job security. Let's be real. When your job is basically untouchable, why sprint when you can saunter? It's like showing up to a party where no one notices. And then the snacks are all free. A little bit of this isn't my problem goes a long way in these positions. Look, I know from firsthand experience that firing government personnel is hard. It takes a Herculean effort to get rid of even the most inept employees. Red tape, review boards are a large disincentive to any supervisor with an underperforming team member. Imagine taking 20 steps to boil water and you're starting to get the picture. Even when you do successfully fire someone, there's a very good chance they will file a lawsuit, which will inevitably get you sucked into court or depositions. Number 1, lack of competition. In the private sector, competition drives people to be better, faster, and more efficient. In government, not so much. Here, if you do your job, it's great. If you don't, well, no one will notice for a while. Maybe never. With no competition, there's no reason to push yourself to be the best. In a race with no finish line, everyone's content to stroll at their own pace, which means mediocrity is the norm. Competition? Nah. Why compete when you can relax in the government version of a vacation hammock? So there you have it, your top 10 reasons why there are so many extra government workers. Of course, not every government employee is slacking off. There are plenty of dedicated people doing great work. But let's face it, these patterns aren't exactly making the government look like a lean, mean, efficient machine. What do you think? Agree? Disagree? Leave your thoughts in the comments. And if we've earned it, please like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, keep climbing.
And in the morning, I'm making waffles.